What's up, guys? Peter von Panda here. Hey, I thought I'd show you a watch that I haven't shown you before because I did a review on a number of my Shinolas before, and this one is a Runwell. As you can see, it's a 47 millimeter. It's pretty large, and you know the Runwells are pretty much the same. This one has an Argonite 1069. Like I said, 47 millimeter case, screw down crown, kind of oyster shaped with the coin edge here, and I can go ahead and rotate these hands out of the way so you can see the logo in all its glory. Oops, let's get it out there. There we go. All right, so as you know, I like Shinolas. I kind of got a bunch of them initially when Shinola kicked off, and I have a few different styles. I like wearing them. I wanted to show you this for two reasons. One, I wanted to kind of show it to you and show you what the case wear is like, given that this watch has been worn over the last year or two fairly heavily and without a lot of regard for trying to keep it protected. And two, to give you my opinion on where this watch fits in the style and fashion lineup. So first of all, it has a brown leather band stitched here in kind of white thread, and that's starting to look a little ivory-ish with wear. The band is held up nicely. I think the Horween leather, this is kind of a little more the traditional style, dyed or tan or dyed in this darker brown. And then the backing that the Shinola watches have with their logo emblazoned there is actually pretty nice. And so it's always like this unless you get a bracelet, or even the natural vegetable tanned Horween leather bands I think have a backing on it. And it's nice. It's really like a dark, let's call it a dark chocolate, milk chocolate brown. So it's very much like birch bark. But the contrast stitching is nice. And this band, like I said, has not been gingerly worn, but it still looks pretty good. Considered a year or two old. The other thing I wanted to show you here in terms of wear is the case, because this case was pretty interesting, and I don't know that they're doing this case a lot. The stainless steel cases are nice because they have good weight, they're pretty robust, and they're usually polished. Now, I've also seen the ones, and I've had the ones with the brushed finished, which I really, really like. I loved brushed stainless steel. I know that's probably not a big surprise to you. But for whatever reason, I don't know why Shinola isn't doing this bead blasted or sandblasted finish a lot, but I really don't see it much. And this watch itself here, I don't even think is available anymore. But what I think this was, is it's not a coating like the PVD black coating or anything. I think this is just stainless steel that was bead blasted, kind of like the aluminum finish that you get on iPhones and MacBooks. It's just a kind of a naked metal, but it's blasted to give it a little matte texture. Now, what you can see here is on the edge of the bezel, it's been brushed up against things. It's been knocked. I'm sure I've hit it into door jambs and things and tables and things like that I've been working on. You can see it's a little scuffed up, but for the most part, it really looks pretty good. And for not being like a hard-coated or an additional chemical treatment to the metal, it really still looks very matte, just a little bit of polishing around there. And I bet if you tape this off, maybe you could even sandblast it again to give it that more uniform look, or even maybe, wet sand it circular and give it in a brush look or something like that. But in terms of a couple of years of use, I'm pretty impressed with how well that blasted look has held up. Now, over time, it's going to continue to get polished, I would assume, and you'll probably have a kind of a shiny polished edge and a much more flat polish. It actually looks like gray paint to me, and I may be wrong about this. If I'm wrong, reach out to me, put it in the comments. I'll admit to when I'm stupid. But as on the back here, you can see on the reverse side where the finish is taking less abuse. That it kind of looks like a battleship gray paint to me, and obviously I don't think it's paint. Everything else about the Runwell, the kind of the wire lugs, the 24 millimeter lug distance here, the size, everything is about the same. The dial here is royal blue. Shinola has a couple of different blues that they use on the dials. I like this one. I like it. And in terms of where this fits in your watch lineup and your style lineup, I think it's the Casual Contempo. You remember that store, Contempo Casual? But to me, this royal blue color kind of looks a little bit like like military, orienteering, outdoor, kind of gear style, adventure style watches. And so when I put this on, and you're looking at it here on my wrist, I think this fits in with, you work at REI, you could wear this. If you like RVing or camping, this looks great. If you like nature hikes, if you're kind of an urban weekend warrior, whatever. It just has a little bit of whimsy, and it doesn't take itself too seriously because it's kind of this bright royal blue dial and kind of this flat industrial, like I said, battleship gray kind of finish to it. And it says, I'm here to be used. I'm here for a job, and I want to just to have a little color and a little style on my wrist too. So I like it. I've shown you other watches, and like I said, I've called some like the Jeep Wranglers of watches because they're tough, they're stylish. They kind of tell you that you don't give a damn what people think. You wear what you want to wear, and this watch is no different in my opinion. This one is great. It could fit in perfectly in a work setting. It could fit in perfectly if you are working a construction crew, I think. Anyway, good, nice weight. I'm really a big fan of Shinola, as you know. The 47 millimeter is the size that I really like. Sapphire curved dial there. And they just have held up really, really well. I will tell you that I have replaced the battery in this watch before. I think getting a year or year and a half out of a battery in these movements seems to be kind of the average for me. So I actually do have, I think, of the 364 Renata battery, a package of those, because as my watches have kind of reached that same age, they all kind of go out. Now, I know you can send them back. I think you can go to a Shinola store and they will put a new battery. Your local jeweler or watch shop can throw one in there for $5 to $10. So they're not expensive, but I really like it. Shinola orange, I think, really pops on that royal blue too. So anyway, my blasted gray stainless steel 47 millimeter Shinola Runwell with the royal blue dial. I really dig it. Just wanted to give you a look at a watch years after it's rolled off the assembly line and give you a showing of what it looks like. Peter Von Panda. Out!